morning to all the viewers of Makalu Television and all the students. Welcome to this distance learning program organized by PAPSON and with the all efforts of teachers. I am Prakash Dhasar and today we are going to study about biology. In previous class, I promised you that today we will study about more details on the classification of animals. In previous class, I have already explained you about the classification of animals on the basis of backbone. So, let me revise. On the basis of backbone, animals are divided into two groups. They are vertebrates and invertebrates. Vertebrate animals means those animals that have backbone, and invertebrate animals means those animals that do not have backbone. I hope you can give many more examples of vertebrate animals and invertebrate animals regarding our previous class. Now, today we will study some more divisions of invertebrate animals. Today our class will be on the basis of invertebrate animals. So dear students, please see on your screen. On your screen there is given the classification of invertebrate animals. So dear student, can you tell me in how many phylums are all those invertebrate animals are divided? Yes, all the invertebrate animals are divided into 9 phylums. The name of 9 phylums are given on your screen. They are Protozoa, Porifera, Colentrata, Platyhelminthes, Nemahelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda and Mollusca, and finally Echinodermata. So how many phylums are there of invertebrate animals? 9 phylums. Again I repeat their name. Please listen their pronunciation very carefully. First phylum, Protozoa. Second, Porifera. Third, Colentrata. Fourth, Platyhelminthes. Fifth, Nemahelminthes. Sixth, Annelida. 7, Arthropoda. 8, Mollusca. And 9, Echinodermata. So, today we will study about the characteristics of all these 9 phylums of invertebrate animals. So, without any delay, let's start our class. The first one phylum is Protozoa. And dear student, do you know one thing? The name of every phylum has hidden words, have some hidden meanings in their name. Okay, so with the hidden words or hidden name of each phylum, you can easily classify or you can easily tell their special or specific characteristics. Like Protozoa. Here, Protozoa is made up of 2 words. Proto means single cell and zoa means animal. So, all the animals that are made up of single cell, whose body consists of single cell, they are called Protozoa. Now, general characteristics of Protozoa, let's study about them. First general characteristic of protozoa are, they are unicellular and microscopic animal. Means their body is made up of single cell and we can't see those animals with our naked eye. We have to use microscope. So they are unicellular and microscopic animal. Second general characteristic is they move by the means of pseudopodia like amoeba, flagellum like euglena, and cilia like paramecium. These are their locomotory organs. So dear student, can you tell me some locomotory organ of protozoa? Yeah, pseudopodia, flagellum and cilia. These are the locomotory organs, those organs that help them to move from one place to another place. This is the second characteristic of protozoa. Now let's go on third characteristic. They respire through their body surface. As I have already told you that all the protozoans are unicellular animals, so they don't have any specific or special respiratory organ. So they are animals, they need to breathe, they need to respire, and they respire through their body surface. Fourth special characteristic is they reproduce by cell division. They are unicellular animal. That's why their reproduction takes place by cell division. When one cell gets fully mature, then that mother cell, we call it mother cell, when a cell of protozoa gets fully developed, we call them mother cell, and that mother cell gets divided into daughter cell. That is called, that way of reproduction is called reproduction by cell division. I have given you some examples of protozoa. Example are amoeba, paramecium, euglena, and many more. I hope you all understood about the general characteristics of protozoa. Let's see some pictures of these protozoa. On your screen, can you see some pictures of protozoans? Protozoans means the animals that belongs to protozoa phylum. Okay, there are amoeba also, parameciums are also there, euglena is also there. So these all are protozoans, or the animals that belongs to protozoa. Now let's go on second phylum of invertebrate animals. They are, that is, Porifera. Its Latin name has a specific meaning. Porus means pore and fero means to bear. That means those animals that bear pores, means holes. Pores means holes in their body, are called porifera or poriferans. Such animals have very special characteristic. That means they have holes in their body. No other phylums have holes in their body. They are poriferans. Let's study about their general characteristics. First characteristics of poriferans, or the animals that belongs to porifera, are they are found in water, means they are aquatic animals. Okay. Second, their body contains numerous pores, numbers of pores called ostia, and a single large pore called osculum. Means all these poriferans have two types of pores in their body. First, many small pores. Many small pores. Sasana pores. Those are called ostia, and they have single but big pore called osculum. Again I repeat, dear student, small pores are called ostia and big pores are called osculum. Very good. Now, third special characteristic of poriferans are they remain attached to their substratum. Substratum means anything that are present in water, like stone, maybe wood, those things that are found in water. So they get attached with that things which are found in water, non-living things. Okay, they don't move freely. They are attached to some substratum. Fourth characteristic is they are multicellular animals. Remember, only protozoans are unicellular animals, but after protozoans, all those remain red phylums of invertebrates are multicellular animal, and poriferans are also multicellular animals, means their body is made up of more than one cell. Example, cycon, sponges and many more. And now I am going to show you some pictures of these poriferans. Can you see some examples of these poriferans? Yes, in first picture you can see many small pores called ostia, and in second picture of cycon you can see the osculum, which is single but large pore. I hope you all understood about the characteristics of poriferans. Now let's go on the third phylum of invertebrates, that is Coelenterata. Again pronounce it please, Coelenterata. So this name of phylum also has some specific meaning. Coelen means cavity, intron means intestine, and eta means group, means those animals that has hollow intestinal cavity is called Coelenterata. Let's study about their general characteristics. First, their body has a large hollow cavity called coelentron. I told you, all those Coelenterata or coelentrons have hollow but cavity body. They have hollow cavity body, hollow intestinal cavity body. Okay. Second, they have stinging cell, means when they touch our skin, we have some burning sensation on our skin due to their stinging cell. Okay. Third, they are diploblastic animal. Here the new word comes to you, that is diploblastic animal, means those animals that has two layers of skin. These animals have only two layers of skin, and all those animals that has two layers of skin are called diploblastic animals. Fourth character, they reproduce by both sexual and asexual method. They are multicellular animal and they reproduce, some of them reproduce sexually, yes, by the fusion of male gametes and female gametes, that is called sexual reproduction, or by asexual reproduction, by their body, by dividing their body. Yes, that is called asexual method of reproduction. So, all colytrons reproduce by sexual method or asexual method. For an example, Hydra jellyfish. In picture, you can see the diagram or picture of Colestrata. The first one is of Hydra. Can you see tentacles of Hydra? Yeah. And the second one is, can you tell me which one is the second? Okay, very good. So, these are the Colestrata. Now, let's go on the next phylum of invertebrates, that is Platyhelminthes. Here, the name of Platyhelminthes has also some specific meaning. Here, platys means flat and helminthes means worm. Means those worms whose body is very flat, like leaf or ribbon, is called Platyhelminthes. Let's study their general characteristics. That is, their body is leaf-like flat. Their body is very thin but flat in structure like leaf. Second character is their body is provided with hooks and sucker. Hooks and suckers. With the help of hooks, they get attached with some tissue of host cell, host animal, and with the help of sucker, they suck the nutrients. They obtain the nutrients from their host. So, their head is provided with hooks and suckers. Third special characteristic is they are triploblastic animal. In previous phylum, I told about diploblastic, means having 2 layers of skin. Here in Platyhelminthes, I told you, I described you about triploblastic animal. Means triploblastic animal means those animals that has 3 layers of skin. They are called triploblastic animal. And fourth special characteristic is they are hermaphrodites. Hermaphrodites means those animals in which male and female sexes are present in single body. Those are called hermaphrodites. Again I repeat, those animals that contains both the sexes, means male sex also and female sex also. Such animals are called hermaphrodites. So, most of these Platyhelminthes are hermaphrodites. For an example, tapeworm, planaria, and many more. I am going to show you some pictures of Platyhelminthes. Can you see on your screen the diagrams of Platyhelminthes, tapeworm, and planaria? Yes, you can see their body is very flat like a structure, like leaf. Now let's go on next phylum of invertebrates, that is Nemahelminthes. This name of phylum also gives some specific meaning. Here, nematos in German word, nematos means thread, dory, and helminthes means worm, means those animals whose body is like thread is called Nemahelminthes. Let's study about their general characteristics, and their general characteristics are their body is cylindrical and unsegmented. Their body is cylindrical shape. You know the cylindrical shape? Yeah. Their body is cylindrical shape and unsegmented. Their body is not divided into segments. Second character, their body is bilaterally symmetrical. Here again the new word comes to you. Bilaterally symmetrical means those body structure which can be divided equally into left and right parts. If we cut them from the middle, whatever organs will be found in left side will be also found in right side. Such body is called bilaterally symmetrical. Third character of Nemahelminthes is they are unisexual. Means they are not hermaphrodites. They are unisexual. Means male body and female body are separated. Male Nemahelminthes and female Helminthes are separated. Such are called unisexual. Either they are male or they are female. Fourth characteristic is they are mostly parasitic animals. Means for their nutrition they have to depend on host animal. They suck the blood of other animals. Such animals are called parasites or parasitic nutrition. Such animals have parasitic nutrition and those animals are called parasites. For an example, Ascaris pinworm. I am going to show you picture of Ascaris. Here you can see the picture of Ascaris, male Ascaris and female Ascaris. And for your information, they are found in our stomach. Yes. So there are many more other phylums of invertebrates, but due to lack of time, I promise you that in next class we will study more details and more phylums of invertebrate animals. Let's revise whatever things we studied today. Today we studied about the phylums of invertebrate animals. So how many phylums of invertebrate animals are there? Very good. 9 phylums are there. Let me revise their name once again. Protozoa, Porifera, Colentrata, Platyhelminthes, Nemahelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca and Echinodermata. I hope you all understood today's class, and with the promise that we will study more details on these invertebrate animals, I want to leave today. Thank you very much for watching me. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you very much.